Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. First, it was quiet quitting, and then the great resignation. Now companies are hitting the panic button because of a new trend called quick quitting. So who's walking off the job? The executive life coach and corporate trainer James Bonds of Well Driven Life has the answers. Hi there, James.
Hi, how you doing today, sir?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us today. You know, according to research from Zippia.com, in 2022, on average, 4 million Americans quit their jobs each month. And since March 2020, right around the pandemic, many people have decided just to leave their jobs, causing that great resignation that we're seeing today. And there's some different reasons why, but one pattern has affected businesses, employees all over the country called quick quitting. Tell me what that is, who's leaving us now, along with some of the reasons why you believe people in those positions are moving on in droves.
Well, very interesting, because right now that we have a lot of course, millennials, Gen Z in the world today as far as workforce, because a lot of the baby boomers are either gone or on the way out the door. So they've also what they call it quiet quitting as well. So what you'll find is that people don't want to put up with crap anymore. They've noticed when the pandemic happened that they can sit home, no tolls, no gas, no daycare. They can make 30 to 40% less, realistically, and the same lifestyle. So guess what? When that unprepared or unstructured or that C-suite person or owner doesn't have any people skills, people look back and like, see ya, I'm gone. I can find another job tomorrow because guess what? McDonald's is freaking paying $20 an hour. So
So it sounds like, when we mentioned the C-suite jobs being vacated and stuff, it seems like it needs to start from the top if we want to keep the people at the bottom. Is that what I'm getting from you, James?
it does. It does. People have to realize that, people matter. Performance, of course. Accountability, of course. What you find is, at least I found in my travels of coaching CEOs, they're starting to transition their companies into their kids' names, to their kids' possession,
Uh-huh.
and their kids, unfortunately, have no people skills.
Right.
When you start, not knowing how to speak to people, how to treat people, people just look at you, they'll give you the do sign and they'll leave the same day.
All right. And so now these C-suites, or those people in the corporate portions, they need to understand that. But for those maybe who've had their bosses and they're tired of them, they leave their job, how do they actually capitalize in getting into those positions, maybe even moving upward?
They capitalize on making themselves notice, making their bosses aware that that's what I'm ready for this. When I come into companies, and a lot of times I'll do a personality profile,
Okay.
and you'd be amazed at how many people actually are ready for the positions, but were never noticed in the past.
And having just that, the personality, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, that sort of thing. But what is it specifically that maybe that would help them, benefit them, maybe a personality trait or something that they can learn in the workplace that you would say is the most important for them to be able to advance?
The most important one I would say, there's a few, but the most important I would say would be conflict. People can deal with conflict, they can lead people. If you can't deal with conflict, you're in a bad place in general. So I would say the one thing I look for in the profile is that, are you a people person? But number one for me is, can you deal with conflict management? That's
Okay.
huge.
All right. And then let's talk about just walking off. When we hear about toxic environments, what exactly does that mean? And, listen, we all have issues. I mean, we have toxic home lives sometimes. We go into a workplace, we're expecting everybody to have the same personality. But what is a toxic workplace like?
A toxic workplace is a place where you have, again, the C-suite, you have the CEO who's not prepared to deal with people, therefore no leadership.
Okay.
People talk about, conflict, people talk about, bad environment, but an environment where you get no leadership is just as toxic as an environment as getting harassed. Because people deserve to grow, people deserve to expand their knowledge, deserve to expand their skill set.
Okay.
So if you are not giving the person the opportunity to grow and expand, it's literally considered a toxic workplace.
And an employee, how do they approach their boss to be able to either fix it or be, hey, let them know that they're going to advance or what they need to work on?
They basically demand your one-on-ones properly. They demand that you get an opportunity to grow, demand leadership skill set training. Basically demands, I want to be here for a long time. So what are you gonna do for me? Because guess what? Again, everybody's hired. So let's focus on, as I train CEOs now, give a person a reason to stay, not
Yeah.
just because they've been there for a reason to stay.
Right.
It's stop promoting for attrition. That's a huge one to me. Stop promoting for attrition and promote skill set.
Very good. All right. Thank you, James. And listen, people at home, if you need an executive life coach, corporate trainer, you should check out our website, dailyflashshow.com. Don't quit before you go. All right. think about it. Figure out how you can move forward. Thank you for joining us, James.